TV. My name is Alicia, and I am here today with our guest, Carolina De Athey, right?
Yes.
So we're so happy to have you here. This is our
Happy
new
to be
program.
here.
Yeah. And for our viewers, can you give us a brief introduction about like what you do?
Yes, my name is Carolina De Athey. I am an actress, I am a model, I'm a singer, songwriter, and now an influencer too, because we have to do a lot of things in LA.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I was reading that like you like to be called an artist because you do so many things. Is that like the preferred label for you? Would you say you're more of a singer? You're more of an influencer?
Definitely artist. I think artist kind of encompasses all of the things that I do. They are artistically related to, I write, I sing, I write, I've written short films, for example. Um, then there's the modeling, which a lot of people, they think it's not connected to acting, but it is. You know, you're not speaking, but you are acting in a sense when you're modeling. Um, and then acting is completely within artistic. So artist is something that defines me the best, I think.
Yeah.
I think influencer is more like nowadays you need to work with brands, you need to have a more presence in social media. But it was never like I'm an influencer. No, I think depending on what you do, you become an influencer if you have some certain pull. If somebody will listen to what you say,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Or like something that you're wearing, or so it kind of just happened.
Yeah, like an
Right.
extension of what you've been doing
Yes.
so far.
Yes.
Okay, so you did mention that you were a model in Brazil, right? So how did you get started with that? Like, is that something you've always wanted to do?
No, I actually, I'm trying to think if there was something that I did in Brazil, because I modeled a lot more in the United States, and I started in Texas actually with, like the peanut stuff and football magazines and stuff like that. And then I went to Chicago, ended up actually doing runway and touring the United States with a group of runway models. And then print, which I still do, and I do runway too. It's like whatever it pays.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have one that you prefer more? Like, do you like doing runway or do you like doing print?
That is different, right? Because runway is like it's live, you're there,
Yeah.
so that is a little bit of a thrill.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that go wrong actually
Yeah.
behind scenes, and
Yeah.
you're there, and people are falling down. I've been to once a hair show, and somebody just fell in the middle of the runway. So there is definitely different. There is a thrill to walk, to you feel very poisoned, right? When you come in, you have to have that mood, that vibe that like I'm the shit now.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So I like that.
Yeah.
I miss it. Print it's more controllable. I love print. It normally pays well. But it's a lot more controllable. You're on a set and you're doing photos and they're gonna be edited. The only thing I don't like about print is that 9 out of 10, the picture that you love is not the one they're gonna choose.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
The brand, or they always
Yeah.
choose something else and have a different vision than you when you see yourself.
You see yourself, yeah. It's interesting too because that's kind of how film is and acting, where it's
Yes.
like takes and kind of like versus live theater, where it's
Yes.
very different, right?
Very different.
So speaking of acting, you then started acting in Brazil.
In Texas.
Oh, in Texas. So
Yes.
all your opportunities came from your move, right?
Yeah, the only thing I was doing in Brazil was music.
Yeah.
I mean, I was involved with music. I did a couple of modeling gigs too, but like music was a huge part of my, childhood because I grew up in church. So I was part of choirs, like being part of different choirs. And I actually the first time I came to the United States, it was a youth choir. It was 120 teenagers and orchestra, and then we also tour through the U.S. And so I grew up like this, and I sang a lyric too in Brazil. And when I came to the United States, and I also, I had that dream too. Oh, I need to speak, the language. I need to speak English to be able to write in English, to be able to sing in English, which was the drive. But then I bumped into acting in Texas. I met a writer he was always hired by other writers
Mhm.
to bring those visions to life. So he did a ton of short films,
Mhm.
and they were all horror films.
Yeah.
All
A
horror
lot of
films.
screaming or what? Yeah.
And he hired me. I don't remember how we met, but he hired me. So I feel like I've died in every single possible way.
Yeah.
Like knife, gun, pitchfork through the wall,
Yeah.
like you
Wow.
name it.
Yeah, but it must have been a
Everything.
fun set, right? Like you got to learn a
Well,
lot.
and you have to cough up a lot of
Oh,
syrup.
Yeah.
I don't like
I
the
read it's
syrup.
really sticky. You got
Very
blood
sick,
on
it's
you?
just thick.
Is it the one that
It's
smells
full
like
of sugar.
peppermint? Is it the smell? Like
No, this one was like sugary, very sugary,
Yeah.
very thick,
yeah.
red, but you know, you always like.
Oh, if you get it like on your neck or
Yeah,
something.
I
yeah.
remember, you know, he killed me in the woods too, like choked me, and then he was spitting that
Yeah, like the leaf sticking or
delicious
something.
blood.
Oh my god. Oh, okay.
Delicious blood.
No. Okay, so you did say you listen to different music, right? So were there any particular genres that you really enjoyed growing up that have influenced your current music?
Yes, I listen to a lot of pop music, but I also listen to a lot of Brazilian music. In Brazil. So and there is like the Brazilian pop, which is called MPB, and bossa nova, which is old from like 60s, 70s, but it is the best music in Brazil. Still, to this day, it's not gonna change. Nobody's gonna beat it.
Yeah.
It's just like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
It's not gonna have another one. Nobody's gonna be better than him.
Yeah.
He's the king.
Yeah.
Just like that. Bossa nova is like, you know, it's forever. So I was very influenced by both. But there was always a specific thing that I noticed in pop, because you like pop music, it's fine, you can dance, it's cool. You know, like in mixing genres, I like to mix the genres.
Yeah.
But one thing that stood out to me in certain people, certain artists, is that they were trying to actually send a message. I've always been drawn to that type of stuff. So with Michael, for example, I feel like he wanted to say so many important things, and he used his music to do that. And I think I aspire to do that one day,
Yeah.
because nowadays you can't.
Yeah.
Like you have to be the pop. It has to be the pop song. It has to be something about love or about, you know, like not too serious. And when you're talking about topics that are very serious right now, I feel it's a little more challenging
Yeah.
than you don't find meaningful,
Yeah.
you know, music anymore.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. Yeah. Also, I think like maybe like social media is changing that, right? Like it's not even the full song that's important. It's like the little clip. You get the
Yeah.
viral clip, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And you publish your music there too.
Yeah.
So essentially you will be paid for that
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, that's really.
Although it's peanuts.
Yeah, but it adds up, right?
Nowadays.
Maybe a little bit. Okay.
You have to stream millions and millions and millions and millions to mean something
Yeah.
in music, because it's so cheap.
Yeah, I do think it's really interesting that you mentioned Michael like as your influence because he's American, and then you came to live here, and this is where you started doing your music,
Right.
like more professionally, right?
Yes. Or as a single artist, I
Yeah.
should say, right? But Michael, something about Michael, a lot of Americans don't know, is that, and that's why Brazilians like him so much.
Yeah.
Michael went to Brazil to film They Don't Care About Us.
Oh wow, that's
Right?
really cool. Yeah.
And he's the first artist to dare to go into a slum, because Brazil is a third world country. And he went and shot in the slum, and then he shot this other, it's a historical patrimony that is in Bahia, which now you can go as like restaurants and boutiques, all colorful and cute,
Yeah.
but in reality was built by slaves. That's what the slaves
Wow,
stayed.
yeah.
So Michael was a genius. He impressed me very much because he thought about it, what the song is saying, right? They don't care about us. If Roosevelt was living, he wouldn't let this be. And then he goes back to his roots and say, I want to go to the poorest place and show the world what misery is and where it came from, because it started with slavery.
Yeah.
All of that happened, and then when I got here,
Yeah.
the clip was censored because
Wow.
they said they didn't want to show America the poverty, real
That had been
poverty,
caused,
real
yeah.
misery. So he had to go and shoot another
Mhm.
video in jail, the one that he's dancing in jail.
Oh,
Like
wow.
it's a different version, but the
Yeah.
original version.
Mhm.
Today, if you go to YouTube and you put "They Don't Care About Us,"
Yeah.
you see.
Yeah.
When you visit there,
Mhm.
you see T-shirts with him there because he also used the largest drums group in the world, which is Brazilian,
Mhm.
and he plays with him. It's over 100 drums. It's called Olodum.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
so you can watch now on YouTube the
Yeah.
original,
Yeah.
and he's vibing with the drums.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
That's amazing. So, would you say you know all this because you're a big fan of his, or
Oh,
is it on
I
top
love
of
him.
like
To
how
me, it's-
everyone loves him there too? Like,
So that's a caveat because everybody loves Michael,
Yeah.
like you like Michael,
Yeah.
but I actually read the lyrics. I knew the message.
yeah,
He talks about so many things. There are so many songs that are really meaningful. But being a Brazilian
Yeah.
and seeing that, because he was all over the news there, he was everywhere.
Mhm.
And you're like a kid and you're watching, and you're like, oh my gosh, this dude is so amazing.
yeah.
And he was.
Okay, so like as an artist yourself who's putting out music, so you come to the U.S. and you start putting out on these platforms your first single, right? Can you tell me about that and what
That's
made
why.
you? Yeah, what made you like decide this is the moment to put out this song?
I had, at the time I was here, but my cousin who lives there, he was like, I'll help you, because you're gonna come here and I have these people, and he had a studio, because producing music is very expensive.
Mhm.
That is the issue with every single artist, is how can I make my songs, record, publish, without all this money, because it's ridiculous. Here in LA, it's ridiculous. Go check,
Yeah,
studio
renting a
time,
studio, yeah.
and how much they want for a single. If you work with a producer, sometimes they ask you for 40 grand. It's ridiculous. It's like it's kind of surreal.
Mhm.
So at the first time, he said, I'm gonna help you, and it was like to try out, and I went there, but it was so tight. I did everything in like 2 days,
Yeah.
and then that was the first time too, like when you think about acting, and cause he had the crew, he had the people, but he didn't know what to do for the video. He had a beautiful apartment.
Yeah.
And I ended up really directing and saying, oh, this is the story. It's gonna be from point A to point B. My heart is broken. I'm brokenhearted. I'm crying. Da da da. You can shoot the hallway. You can do this. And then I saw his picture, and I'm like, and he's my cousin. I'm like,
Oh,
okay, and you're my
okay.
boyfriend, so I'm
Oh.
crying over you.
Like a
And
fun set to
yeah,
work with. Okay.
that's in the video. So it was my first one. It was to test the waters, and I saw how hard it is actually
Yeah.
after.
Mhm.
Because for music, you need to put out music, and because it's changing so much, like you're saying, like the social media and everything, the attention span is like so fast.
Yeah, so
You
true.
have to move from one thing, and then in a few months you have to have another one
Yeah.
and another one. So essentially, you need to have a lot of continuation
Yeah.
or things in between.
Mhm.
And I didn't have that because you needed a lot of money to to do music,
Yeah,
to
to
actually
produce it,
produce music. So it took me some time, like, chill, I'm gonna take a break, cause, I have to, have some things, some ducks in a row, basically.
Mhm.
And then I focused on acting more, and then now that I'm with the label, and I had a song ready to go, and I already have one
Mhm.
that's recorded,
Yeah.
so I need a music video, but,
Yeah.
that's what it took.
Yeah.
And having the support of the label with So Bold Entertainment.
Yeah. That's really good. Yeah.
The support of the label and bring me in, and that helps a lot too, because they're solely, very focused on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about your most recent single that our own Lynn Tang produced.
Yes.
Here. Yeah, shout out Lynn. And it had kind of a journey too. Can you tell me about the songwriting for that? And because it's based on Besame Mucho, right?
Besame Mucho.
Yeah.
Well, I mean the writing, but you want to know the lyrics?
Yeah,
part?
like how did you put your own spin on this version to make it your own and really tell
So
what
it
you wanted to?
started with me and a good friend who's an actress too, Christina De Rosa. We were talking back and forth. We should do a duet. She has a beautiful voice.
Mhm.
We should do a duet. We should do a duet. And she's like super energetic. Like she doesn't need coffee or anything. She's so energetic. So she would bombard me with like maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that, maybe we should do that. Oh, maybe we should get a hook from one of the songs. There's like an older song that is public domain.
Mhm.
And so she would send me all this stuff, and then I'm like, let me think about it, because this is my process.
Mhm.
I write, but I normally don't write like little things here and then there. You know, a lot of writers do that. They
Yeah,
take
you
notes.
save it, yeah, for later.
I might make a note and or record a sound
Mhm.
if I get a sound. And this is the thing too. Most people that write music, they write the lyrics
Mhm.
and they look for a beat.
Mhm.
It's separate.
Mhm.
For me to write, normally they both come together,
Oh, yeah.
right? So I get the melody in my head and then I start writing. And I finally got Besame Mucho, and I was like, oh, this is a good hook, this is a good hook. And then I wanted to talk about what women really want
Mhm.
from a man, and then I
Mhm.
keep hearing from
Mhm.
every time you're with your girlfriends,
Mhm.
all these things comes up, and they're like, oh, guys, it's not about just bringing the flowers. You need to, keep me satisfied.
Mhm.
You need to do this. Women today are more
Mhm.
independent, more, like
Mhm.
there are certain things that guys, men
Mhm.
would, I feel, based on everything that I heard from my girlfriend,
Yeah.
more selfish
Mhm.
and not really please the girls. If they're good, they're good type of thing. And I've heard so much of that when I was doing runway
Yeah.
from some of the models. And there's also like the romance. Don't allow romance to go out of your relationship or whatever. So I start writing based on that,
Mhm.
and then incorporate the besame.
Mhm.
And we were working with a producer, and then it didn't work out because he lost the studio.
Mhm.
And then it kind of quieted down for a while, until I signed up with my label again. I actually went to Brazil,
Mhm.
and then I had it. Still, the idea was to be a duet, because I wrote it as a duet.
Mhm.
And I went to the studio to do a collaboration with this Mr. Blarney, who is a UK rapper. And then I was there, and the guy said, "Why don't you record the whole song, both parts?
Mhm.
This way you have the entire song,
Mhm.
and then if the duet happens, but if not, you have something."
Yeah.
And then I did it. And then I did every single voice, all the harmonies. I had to do all of them separately myself, but I didn't. He was right, because I ended up releasing it
Yeah.
alone. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the story behind this
Oh,
thing.
wow. And another thing is, it's in 2 languages. So is that something you like to do? Do you want to venture more into English? Do you like combining the other cultures
I
into
like
it?
combining the cultures and mixing music, and I feel like the label wants it too, because
Mhm.
nowadays, like, the Hispanic market is very big,
Mhm.
the Latino market, right? And but then I speak Portuguese too, so like this other song that I have, I sing a little bit of Portuguese in it, and the original Love has Portuguese.
Mhm.
I don't know if you.
Yeah, yeah, I heard.
heard.
Singles. We got like
Yeah.
this is like there's like a remix version of that too, right?
There is,
Yeah.
but there is one
So on
part that
Spotify.
is
Yeah.
all in Portuguese,
Mhm.
and I think it's good to bring cultures together.
Yeah.
Mix,
Mhm.
bring people together.
Yeah. It's
Different
amazing.
languages, different cultures, different backgrounds.
Mhm.
I like that.
Yeah. So for the music video, there was quite a story there, right? Like you had a different version,
Yeah.
and then what happened was, well, kind of like Michael, you had to re-record, but a little bit of a different reason. Can you tell us why?
I had to record because the original, and Lee knows this, because it was recorded in her house, and she met the other director, and he just, I don't know, he disappeared with the footage, and I could never get my footage.
Yeah.
And we had really good stuff,
Yeah.
right? And it was so beautiful, but it just started 1 month, 2, 3, 4, and I'm like, where is my footage? And then I signed with a label, and then because they already knew that I had shot,
Yeah.
right? So they knew that I had a music video ready,
Mhm.
and then there was no music video, and I'm like, Lynn,
Yeah.
Lynn's like,
She's fast.
Lynn, I need your help.
Yeah.
What can I do? And then it also, the miracle of Ricardo coming in
Mhm.
on board, because Ricardo Moreno has done a lot of big stuff.
Mhm.
And I met Ricardo because I worked on one music video that he did for a big, huge band from Mexico. And I had worked with his AD, Kurt Jones, because Kurt Jones directs a pilot that I'm in it, right? So he's that also a director, Emmy Award winner, and I am in the pilot. And then he sends me a message like, "Oh, can you work this? I'm aiding for this, and then I need Ricardo." We talk a little bit about music, this and that, and then next thing you know, so he when I met him, he told me, "Oh, music, you should do this, you should do that." So when this happens, I sent him an email asking his opinion, what he thought about this guy. Why did he disappear with my footage? Is this normal? I emailed two directors about this, and there I felt like, because he worked so much with music videos, the other one just moved movies and gave me his opinion too, which was not good. He said he's not professional, but Ricardo not only gave me the same feedback, but he said, "But I am gonna help you. I'm gonna fly." He was in Mexico. "I'm gonna fly there and I'm gonna help you." And I'm like, I can't believe. And he's like, "You gotta believe in certain miracles." That's all I'm saying. God is good, people. God is good. I call Ricardo. I call Lynn, and before you know, we were here shooting, and Kurt came too.
Yeah. And they
All
all
together.
happened really quickly, right?
Really quickly.
Yeah.
And then Joel, which was the original lead actor, also came.
Yeah.
And then we shot.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, you got your happy ending, and I think it's more, it makes it more worth it that you went through this extra process of having to redo it.
Yeah, you get a taste of how this industry can be, and how there's a lot of people that are completely unprofessional and they do not care about your time, your money, or anything. But it also gives you, the perspective that, no, there's people in the industry that are bigger, that has done so much more, and they're willing to help you out, that they're willing to, give your hand. And I think that's the beauty of it. Like I keep saying this, that these people are very special. My heart, Lynn and Ricardo, because they're they came through, and they didn't have to. There's no obligation, I think that's beautiful.
That's amazing.
And that's the best people to work and be around and surround yourself with, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's really cool. The video itself is like very beautiful. It has like the wind with your dress and everything.
Yeah, those nature.
Did you talk about this? Like, did you say like I wanted to film on the beach? Was it something that came from the director?
Yeah, we had this, because from the first video already, the beach is so beautiful. We can shoot there, and then I had a dress for that reason, to be able to flow, be flowy. But then Ricardo, the rest, he changed everything. Yeah, he changed. It was a different video altogether.
Oh, wow.
The other one was in the bathroom, right? I was in the bathtub.
Oh,
This one,
wow.
yeah. This one was like, a different approach. What he asked, from Joel and I to do is completely different than the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. You happy with it?
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
out? Yeah. That's really, really good.
I know it looks, when you watch, it looks very sexy.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know if you want to talk about it. It's a very sensual take on this very romantic song.
Very, very well. Ricardo wanted to be almost like a Calvin Klein ad, and he wanted Joel to take his shirt off and all this stuff, which didn't happen.
Yeah.
But so next time, girls.
Yeah.
But I felt like it's so funny because when you watch the video, it feels so sexy. Like, ooh, wow, what's going on?
Yeah.
But when we were filming, I was laughing the entire time. I don't even know how Ricardo was able to do this, because he would tell me exactly. He would say, "Touch his arm. Say this on the now, can you touch her arm? Can you kiss her arm?" Like, it was so, he was great, like, Ricardo, because he's done this so much. And I think I haven't been that close to an actor, like, and so he made me feel so comfortable. And Joel is a pro too, so he was always checking me, "Everything okay? Are you alright?" Blah 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 blah. Very, very gentlemanlike. So I couldn't have asked for a better team.
That's great. Okay, so I looked up your socials and I saw that you were really, really great at, putting together great looks and fashion. Is that something you
Oh,
want to pursue?
I love fashion.
Yeah.
I love fashion. If you see my closet, uh, you can
I mean,
get,
you're dressed
you
great
can
today.
get lost
I
in.
think you
Oh,
look
thank
amazing.
you.
Yeah.
I love fashion so much because I think it can say something about you without you saying anything,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And it also can reflect your mood, how you're feeling that day,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I change a lot. You could, see me one day that I look like, I don't know, super summery, and I'm so upbeat, and then the other day I'm like more like today, I make soft and hard and hard and soft. I love to do that. So fashion, it's something I love. I do want to, if I can, one day have a fashion label. Yeah, with my name and stuff that I design, and I've always designed stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would like draw and give it to my mom. Can you make this?
Mm-hmm.
She still said today, oh my gosh, that comes the difficult requests.
Yeah.
She said the way, the things I draw and ask her to make,
Yeah.
they're difficult,
Yeah.
different, because it's always something different.
Yeah.
But always, it's something that I really, really love, yeah.
It's amazing because you seem like you're so creative with so many things, and it's really
Very, very
yeah.
creative, very, very Pisces.
Yeah, and
Very
it's gone into
dreamy.
like songwriting and acting and fashion and
Yes,
everything.
yes.
Yeah,
Love acting, love
Yeah.
acting.
that's great.
It's so, yeah,
Yeah.
it fills my heart.
Aw. Okay, so lastly, I just want to give you the space if you want to shout out any projects you're working on currently. Maybe give your socials so where people can find you.
Yeah, I'm working on, now I want to release my second, second follow-up
Mhm.
song. I do have a song ready. It's called I Only Dance Samba. I don't know if that's what we're gonna go with because I'm looking at all the songs from different producers that are sending me. But for that one, it's ready, and I kind of have a vision for how the video should be.
Mhm.
So I want to do that. I'm waiting on the pilot that I did, which is the one that Kurt Jones directed. Is The Adventures of Bohan and Santiago.
Mhm.
It's extremely funny.
Mhm.
I don't know why, but I do feel that pilot can actually go somewhere. It's very multicultural. It's two male leads. One is Latino, one is Asian.
Mhm.
I play the love interest, or one of the love interests. I'm have a supporting role to the Asian lead.
Mhm.
And it's broad comedy, like really big, really funny,
Yeah.
very crazy. So waiting for that, and waiting for follow up on Bionic Beauty 2. The director has been working a lot in finishing first season to see what we're gonna do, whether we're gonna shoot low budget or we're gonna find money and go bigger budget. But he's working on it. He was like sending me a ton of stuff when I was in Brazil, actually. Yeah, so all these things. And on socials, it's my name always, Carolina De Athey. Except Twitter for X. X is De Athey. Everything else is Carolina De Athey across all of them. Yes.
That's amazing. Okay, well, it was so lovely to have you here.
Oh, thank you for
And
having me.
yeah,
Thank
getting
you for
to know
having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who's on the
Yeah,
crew
go
here.
download my song, stream.
Yeah, Spotify, right? And then you can check out the Besame music video. It's out.
Yes.
So that would be on YouTube as well. And yeah, so thank you so much, Maya TV. I hope you liked it, and thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.